Hey there, welcome to Something Like That with Nav. Yes, I am Nav. It's good to be back. It's good to have another episode for the show, the podcast. And, well, you know the drill, right? Every single show I say the same thing, which is to subscribe, to like, to follow, to do whatever you need to do and share it with as many people as possible. Because today I got an awesome show. I got a very, 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 very special guest on the show. And to me, I would say that she is one of the best things that ever happened to the music scene in Malaysia. I've been checking her out for a couple of years now. And I hardly had a chance to meet her personally or talk to her personally, but coincidentally, 2 weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago on AEW session, she had a live session going on. And as usual, she was mind blowing. And I might share that on this website or this particular page here for you to check it out. So let's bring her on board. And I think the reason why she's awesome is because she might be from Ipoh. Am I right? Are you from
Yes,
Ipoh?
you are. I
Yes,
am.
my
I
hometown
was,
girl.
hey, I was in Telo Intan first until I was
Oh,
8 years old. So shout out Telo
okay.
Intan and then
Kelantan,
Ipoh.
my dad's
Yeah.
hometown.
Hey, nice. Small town.
Nice. And Ipoh,
Yeah.
Ipoh, which part of, I mean, usually when you say you're from Ipoh, there's always the follow-up
It's always
question
which part.
of which
Yeah.
part and also which school. So let's
Yes.
let's find that out first.
So I'm from, I say, like, wait, should I say this all out? Gunung Rapat side.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like, yeah. Where do you stay, or like
I
where's your
was
family
from
stay in
around the
Ipoh?
Jalan Kuala Kangsa or maybe the Merdeka Garden, that area.
Okay. I kind of know where
Okay,
that
for the
is.
benefit
Nice.
of those listening in, Gunung Rapat is the one that area. You know, when you pass Ipoh, you see all the pomelos in one big stretch on the
Yes.
highway on the road. Okay,
Yes.
that's Gunung Rapat
But
area. That's famous for that. Yeah. So when did you
correct.
move in? When
Yes.
did you move into KL?
And then okay, so after Ipoh, I was in Penang. I was doing my diploma in KDU. So shout
Okay,
out Penang. I love Penang. Penang has half of
nice
my heart.
place.
And then I came to KL. Yeah.
Orang utara lah kira.
Yes. Yes, but I will
You got
not
the
do the
Ipoh, you got the
accent
Penang.
because I'm nervous. Yeah. So, but oh
It'll
yeah,
come
also
up.
I'm a convent girl. So shout out convent
Which
girls.
which convent?
Main
Castleton
convent
Convent,
and
main convent, main
main convent. Yeah.
convent. Okay. Yeah, every school, every
Yes.
boys'
One and
school's
only.
hangout spot.
Oh yeah, kak.
Uh,
Parade, Ipoh parade.
Yeah, Ipoh Parade. The main reason they hang around on Ipoh Parade just because of main convent lah. But
Oh.
yeah, back in the days, this for me was ancient time ago, like when dinosaurs walked the earth lah. But for you,
It's
I think it was
okay.
what 5 years, 2, 3 years ago.
In no lah, quite a while ago actually. I'm also pretty.
Really?
I call myself a 185 billion-year-old dinosaur. So yeah,
If
yeah.
that's the
But
case, imagine me. I should be one of
it's,
those
it's okay.
whatever
That's good.
atom.
That's good. National treasures. We're all treasures.
That's a nice way of
Yeah.
saying there you're old already. Okay, but
No, it's okay.
anyway, no,
Age is
but
only a
the thing,
number. It doesn't matter.
yeah, that's what I try to tell myself. But unfortunately, the hand eye doesn't seem to feel that way. But
Yo.
anyway,
Hmm.
anyway, just out of curiosity, I've seen you. I've watched you perform. I've seen you on TV, your YouTube, your music, and the best part is this: it's like I hardly get to know you. I mean, it's like hardly anything about you. I mean, Maya Hanum. Who is Maya Hanum? So that's hence the reason why I actually wanted to have you on the show because I just want to get to know more about Maya Hanum and how did the whole thing start for you? You know, all those kind of things, the little busybody stuff, lah. You
I
know?
appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for wanting to know, and thank you for inviting me on this podcast. Like a lot of cool
Oh.
people have been here, so I'm one of the cool kids now. So woo!
Yeah, your friends. I wouldn't want to label cool people. I just want to call them friends. So you're
Everybody's
another
cool.
friend who just
Kawan,
joined on board.
kawan. Yeah.
Kawan, member lah.
Yes,
So
yes,
tell me,
for
Maya,
sure.
how did it all start? I mean, basically everybody has the origin stories. Like maybe some family members were into music, or maybe some influence. Or as usual, the number one story is usually I played piano when I was 3 years old. I sang when I was 3 years old, and then one thing led to another. So is that the same for you?
So I did not play piano when I was 3 years old,
Okay, good. Thank
but
you.
I've been singing for as long as I can remember. So
Oh,
I've always loved singing, and as a kid in kindergarten, I would learn the nursery rhymes or whatever songs I knew I heard on the radio.
Okay.
And when people came over to the house to like hang out with my parents or whatever, I'll go and whisper to my dad, okay, advertisement break, so that and that would mean that everybody needs to keep quiet so I can sing a song for them. So that's what
Oh.
used to happen. And my dad used to, so I learned a lot of oldies. I knew a lot of oldies like the Carpenters and stuff because of my dad. We used to have singing competitions before. Singing competition meaning that I would sing a song and he would sing a song before
Oh.
going to sleep. Yeah, so that's the way he put
Oh.
me to sleep at night as a like very very
Nice.
young kid. Yeah, so that's
Nice. I
how.
like your dad very much. I wish my
Yeah,
dad
he's
did
a
the
cool
same
guy.
thing. Yeah, all my dad is saying is shut up and sleep. Okay.
Yo, Asian parents.
Yeah, I had one of those, man. It's like everything I had
Mm,
while growing up was don't talk, keep quiet, keep quiet, keep quiet. I think that's the reason why
that's
I talk a lot these days.
it's okay. Now you have a podcast. You can talk
Yeah, lepas geram.
anytime. Yeah.
Lepas geram lah. But for you, where
Yes.
exactly did you start on the professional level?
So in Penang, I was okay. So it's kind of funny because I used to struggle with nerves, very bad nerves. Yeah, yeah, and it still happens, but not too bad anymore because I think over time I've learned. But I was doing a show in college in the foyer, and I was so nervous now. My hands were
Ooh,
shaking, my legs were shaking. I was literally like this. And obviously,
hard to
I messed up
believe.
the song. Dude, it was so bad. Yeah. And then, like, out of the corner, so there were people standing in front of me, right? And out of the corner of my eye, I see this like cute little lady, Dasha Logan. Um,
Oh,
and yeah, so we were in college together in Penang, and she was a semester after me. And she was like, and then like
ah,
and then I was just like I managed to sort of calm my hand down, but my legs were still shaking. But it still messed up that show. And after that, I was so heartbroken because I've always wanted to sing and perform, and like having nerves is like it just sucks. So,
oh man.
and I thought, shit, I'm not gonna be able to do this anymore. Like, screw being a singer, I can't do it. And then the next day in the canteen, she comes up to me, hey, you can sing, huh? I'm like, what? Are
Ooh,
you serious?
ooh,
After that happened, and she was like, yeah, you can. Okay, come over and to like there's this jam session in G Spot in Penang, the G Hotel.
okay.
Yeah, so she invited me to go and do a song with her, and this lady Elise, if I'm not mistaken, from London. So that was like my first time on a real stage with like musicians and stuff. So I did Lean
Wow.
on Me with them, one verse. Yeah, and from there, she got me to replace her on days where she didn't sing on like in certain places like Eclectic in Feringhi and Bagan. Eclectic actually, that's where I used to sing. So then I got my first job in Bagan. That's how I got into it, lah. Basically, yeah.
Okay, so everything started up north. I thought it was in
Yes.
KL.
No, so it's like Dasha. I shout out to Dasha. Lah. I would not sort of like be on this path if it wasn't for her, and also Roz and also Penny from
Wow.
Eclectic, because three of them kind of like I think they were really pivotal in me getting into this and doing it. Yeah,
It's good to
so
have the
I'm
right
very
company
appreciative.
to actually give you that boost, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. I think it's always nice when people are kind and willing to sort of like give you an opportunity and just kind of believe in you. I think that's always nice to have that. Everybody wants that, and I think I'm grateful that I got that love
But the
from
thing is
them.
this:
Yeah.
you were in Penang, you did all this, you did all that singing, but we're coming down to KL. Did it? How did that move happen? It's like were you deciding that okay, fine, I'm just going to pursue singing because you were studying and you're a mass comm student, right, in Penang, and I'm pretty
Yes,
sure
I
you would have pursued a
am.
new career with your mass comm and stuff. But then
I
I've noticed that you've sung a lot, you've performed a lot. How did you do that? Would that happen?
Okay, thanks. I appreciate you knowing that. So I actually was performing. I was staying in Ipoh for a while after Penang, and I was traveling back and forth to Penang for shows, and then I came to KL to do my degree. So when I came to study here, I tried to sort of get into the singing circuit, and I did do a few gigs here and there, but then it's sort of like there was some, I would say, personal things that happened, and then I kind of dropped out of the circuit for a while. And then in 20 and then I was working. I worked in 2016 or 2015. I started working with this company called F Talent, and they
Okay.
used to do acting workshops. So it's communication and acting workshops. It teaches you how to communicate using acting techniques, which is really cool. I met a lot of really nice people there. And after that ended, I was at this crossroad, like, do I want to do music full time, or do I want to go down the corporate line? And I chose to pursue music. And so 2017, I think I kind of dove back in and just really started going at it. And so here I am.
That's
Lah.
nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for making that decision. But of course, speaking of communicating via acting, you've also acted on stage. I mean, you were one of the winners for the. You were one of the best actress for Tall, Dark, and Handsome for the Short and Sweet, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Are you still active with stage plays and all?
Theater.
Because you've done quite a number of it.
I did a few more in Penang, I think, when I was back in Penang. In KL, not so much. But in 2018, I decided to just up. My friend contacted me, Kevin Ng. He was the director for that play, for Tall, Dark, and
Okay.
Handsome. And he was like, "Hey, Maya, do you wanna?" Because I used to do makeup, and I did special effects makeup and stuff. So that's how I met Kevin a while ago. And
Okay.
he was like, "Hey, do you like want to act and try acting and stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then this was a musical on top of that, so that's how that happened, and it was fun. It was a very good
Did you
experience.
enjoy it?
I
You enjoy
did.
it?
I did. I did.
Ah,
I learned a
no.
lot, and it was good lah. It was really fun. Did not
Any
expect to
chance?
get the award, but I really appreciate it.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Short and sweet, because short and sweet has a lot of participants or other entries usually, and
Yeah.
to become the best actress, that's amazing. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I
Ever
didn't
thought about
expect it.
getting into movies?
I'd love to actually. I did a like a short role, a small role in a series called the Singapore Grip.
Okay.
It is actually organized by it was under the BBC, and it's out there right now, but it's a really small role. But it was pretty interesting to be part of that kind of production on that scale. Yeah, so I was in Penang for a week for the shoot, and they had costumes. It's really cooler. So if the opportunity arises, sure, why not? I mean, but it's not something I'm entirely focusing on in terms of like career wise. If it happens, that's
Because
cool.
you're an amazing individual. It's like, apart from okay, of course, the corporate world, a bit of corporate world down there. Then you have your singing side of it. You had acting involved in it, and one part of it you just mentioned. You did. You're a makeup artist or makeup specialist, which
Used to
was
do
a little
makeup.
intimidating for me, because before coming on this show, I'm the kind of guy. The only makeup I know is Johnson & Johnson baby powder. So it's like, I got to look good in front of this girl. It's like,
Classic.
I yeah, I know that's the only thing I know. I have no idea about that. But you still do that? Are you still into the
No,
makeup
no, no,
thingy?
no. I stopped doing makeup. I was doing makeup before I joined F Talent. So then I joined
Okay.
F Talent, and I was like focusing on that, and the makeup sort of like faded away. And then I was freelancing again, and then when music started taking off, I was doing a lot of gigs. Then I kind of put that aside and focused on music. Yeah.
Wow. And
And by the
before I
way,
get
you have
even,
really nice hair and skin, so you don't. You're good. You're good, boo.
I'm blushing. You can't see this on this video slide. I'm blushing right now. The beard is a bit covering it all up. But thank you very much.
Fabulous beard.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is one of those things. This is the main reason why I keep this, is because to make that double chin disappear. It's nothing to do with
Ah,
style. It's just
but
that,
you
when
carry
you're
it
fat.
well though. It looks good.
Yeah.
You've groomed it really well. Your lines and stuff. So
Yeah, just for this particular podcast.
hey
Uh,
hey.
have to, because after knowing it's Maya Hanum, it's like,
Yeah.
starstruck a little bit down here.
It,
So I have to be at
please
my A game, lah. I have to do it. But the
too
thing is,
nice.
like,
Too nice.
I'm fascinated with all the things that you do. Before even diving into your music side of it, you even
Hmm.
have a blog, Serendipity at Midnight.
I
And you,
do.
yeah, it's a pretty interesting blog. Rather, I think it's the only blog you wrote at the moment, which is
Yes.
an amazing one, which is beautiful. I like one of the captions in that particular blog, which sounds like this. Especially, you wrote about fear, right? Fear
Mhm.
is an emotion that is inbuilt to the fabric of this reality, used by some to gain power and control, but recognized as others as a necessity to learn and grow, painful perhaps, but valuable. The conquering of fear creates liberation. That's an amazing
Mhm.
part. That was my favorite paragraph in the whole blog. Are you
Thank
active in
you.
blogging?
So I want to get into it. I have not been very active on it, but I do have a lot of material that I kind of need to sieve through. I think it's something that has been in my mind and something I really wanted to do for a while now, like years. So I have a lot of like I journal a lot, so it's all written in books, ton of
I'm
books.
looking.
Yeah, so I
Publish it, get it out
I
there,
should
get it out there.
I will. I'm glad you enjoyed the article though. Yay. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
thanks.
thinking, and also I noticed this jewelry. Is there anything this woman doesn't do? Her?
I try.
Let's say you
So
try.
yeah.
You got music, you got acting, you got jewelries, you got blogs, you got singing. Ah man, you got performances and all. It's like you're a very busy bee, aren't you?
I try to keep busy. And I think it's all to do with art. And I think my ultimate dream is to just create art and um live off my art, if that makes sense. I think most artists have the same dream. But um so I think different streams and just trying out different things kinda it's opened different doors and also different doors in my head to learn new things. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Nice, very nice. All right, let's talk about a bit about your music. Because the thing
Yes.
is, I have always tried to figure you out in the sense that your sound of Maya Hanum, because you not only sing jazz or maybe contemporary stuff, you also are involved in some of the songs like rap tracks and some of the a bit of reggae, if I'm not mistaken, with Dr. Shakti, which was featured in there, and a bit of
Yes.
rock. I think it was Rhythm Nation, if I'm not mistaken, one of
Mm-hmm.
the tracks involved there. And you've done a lot. So if I would want to say Maya Hanum, what's the sound of Maya Hanum?
So it took me a while to get to this point to decide my sound per se, but it definitely has soul. And so I started off in jazz. In Penang, I used to sing a lot of jazz and oldies. And as I progressed, I tried out different genres because I just wanted to try and see what my voice could carry, what my voice couldn't carry, and opportunities lah. I think it's good to always try and learn and put yourself out there. Why not? You know, at the end of the day, you can only the miss. I saw or heard this this being said. Like at the end of the day, you regret things that you don't do rather than things that you do. So even if it's a mistake, it's better to make that mistake and learn from it rather than not do and wonder. So I kind of went down that path of just experimenting and trying. But personally, I would say my music is very it has soul. It's a little bit, I would say, art poppy, I think, because there's some tracks that I haven't released that are a little bit they have industrial sounds inside. Uh, and yeah, so it's very interesting because I've been listening to a lot more metal since I met Easy. This
Okay.
is like recently, I think in 2020, a lot of metal, different types of metal, and the world of rock or metal is so amazing. You know,
Yes, it's
it's
huge.
so diverse, and
Yeah.
I think there's not enough credit in a way. Like at least for me, like it was like, wow, this is awesome because like there's theatrics involved and there's like melodies and like it's so beautiful. And one of the artists I really like, Aurora, um her music is really like she uses a lot of harmonies and sounds, and she's also influenced by one of her favorite bands is Gojira, and I'm like, hell, that's really cool, you know. Yeah, so I think in my music I because I'm not really an instrumentalist, I'm a vocalist and this
Okay.
is my instrument. So I like playing with harmonies, I like playing with melodies that kind of groove and also kind of like bring you in to kind of just make you sit and ride that wave, you know. So I yeah, I
In a way, you can say that through the years of singing, you've actually pushed the boundaries and trying out the different sounds, and it is quite interesting because I watched you perform on AEW, I mean, I was there
Mhm.
as like 40 Shade and all the other tracks going in from your
Yeah.
single all the way to different range of it. I was like, man, this girl is awesome. Fantastic. I'm saying
Thank you.
I keep using the word awesome. Pardon me for that, but it is a fact because you have the range. But how are you planning to take your sound after this? Because
So
like you have an album, Breathe is your album is upcoming.
it's a single,
Breathe is your
yeah.
first single,
Mm-hmm.
and that has a different sound altogether. And Breathe,
S-
okay, for the benefit of the listeners, Breathe is a track. Let me put it this way: if you had the toughest day on the planet, if you're feeling so stressed up, so worked up, you had one of those lousy days, Breathe is definitely one of the tracks that you want to put your headphones on, crank it up as loud as you can, and listen to it. It calms
Yay.
you down tremendously. I guarantee you that. Don't believe me? Go to her page and try to listen to the song.
Thank
Yeah,
you. I'm glad you feel that way. I mean, I wrote it for myself as well in that sense. Like it's 2020 was really heavy, I think, for everybody. So it kind of just came to me, and it was a self-soothing song. And then I was like, I liked it, and then I showed it to Easy and like a bunch of, and he's like, release it, So that's what happened. So yeah.
nice. Nice.
And it was
Thank you
mixed
for
and
releasing it.
mastered by the guys in Siren. So shout out Siren Studios. You guys made it sound amazing.
It's
Yeah.
nice because what
Oh,
what what amazed me was even when you did the performances on the AW, you actually brought in a singing bowl.
yes.
Yes,
Yes.
you brought in
So
singing bowl. It's like okay, this is one of those meditative kind of music that I heard this song before, but I didn't really pay close attention to it until watching you perform, and then okay, decided to put on my headphones, and then within 30 seconds, it really calms you down. 30 seconds into
yay.
the song and it just gets you super relaxed. It's a good
Hmm.
track. I really love it. And
Thank you.
is to talk about the track, I really want to talk about that, especially after knowing the fact that you like animals, you like nature, you like
I
everything
do.
beautiful. You're kind of,
And not so beautiful. Anything lah. I
yeah,
mean, I
you're a
think
fan of
beautiful
the
is relative.
Gaia itself. Come
I
again?
am. I am. Mother
Yeah.
Gaia. Hell yeah.
Well, the guy, yeah. So you're a fan of that. So did any of those things influence your track Breathe?
Oh, for sure. I mean, fun fact: the crickets that you hear in Breathe, or the night sounds, the ambient sounds, was recorded. Like I recorded it with my recorder. I walked around the neighborhood at like 2 something in the morning, just walked as close as I could to like the trees and got the sounds. And yeah, and Siren Studios kind of helped uh, clean it up and put it in the track, and that's why it's there. So
I'm
yeah.
happy you only got that cricket sounds and the night sounds instead of any other sounds at 2 o'clock
No
in the morning.
lah.
But
It's your intentions, you see. You go with good intentions, you tak
yeah, imagine
kacau.
halfway through putting it in the recording and then you listen to it. It's like, hey, Ade, apa khabar, Ade? Those kind of sounds come out.
Maybe it'll be like, adik, chill, adik. Everything's gonna be
Chiller.
okay.
Somebody, somebody.
Ah.
No, no, but it is a beautiful track. It's like, is that going to be happening for the entire album itself? Because I know you're compiling tracks. You're going to be releasing tracks really soon. Is
Yeah.
that the theme for the whole? Is it an album, right? Or is it going to be an
No,
EP?
it's just an EP for
Okay,
now. So I actually wanted to break it into two parts because financially also it's a bit more doable. So 3 songs and another 3 songs, but I might just do 3 songs and then maybe singles. I'm not too sure about that yet. Um, but the songs are in the works lah. That's kind of what I'm focusing on. And the version of Breathe that you hear on AEW and also My Pentas, we
okay,
did the songs on My Pentas as well, is different from the original Breathe in the sense that I got Sylvia Wong and Jamie Gunther and Malcolm Ambrose to play on it. So it's richer in sound and layers, and I think it's beautiful. It's sort of evolved from just me playing the guitar, which is amazing. And I think as I've been on this journey of creating and making music, I kind of tried to I've been trying to release that fear of like, oh, I need to be on this trajectory. I need to do it this way. I need to be this way. It's kind of just, okay, let's have an idea, let's have a path in front of us, but also explore and see what
okay.
comes out. And that's why, like, when you say how do I put myself in a box, I understand that there is a very important question to answer, and I've been trying my best to answer. The best I can do is like compare myself to artists that I would like to be on a playlist on together with. So that's how
Okay.
I can sort of answer that, and it's in my profile, like so like Sundrop Garden, Aurora, um you know Janae Aiko, like those are people or Elena Havas. I think it'd be really cool if you were to listen to my music, listen to their music. It has that same sort of energy and vibe
Okay.
to the songs. Yeah.
So, I mean, is this going to be happening for the rest of the singles that, or rather, the tracks, rest of the tracks coming out? Because, like I said earlier, like the thing is, Maya Hanum, you have a range, you have a variety of sounds when it comes to performing. So, are you going to use that into your EPs, or is this going to be the same theme along with all the influences that you just mentioned earlier?
So it's going to be in the same theme as those influences and breathe. Like you could listen to it at one go, it sort of tells a story. And with flowers, it's a bit more I would say popish or mainstream. People would relate to it. A lot of people do relate to it, which is great. And I plan to put a bit more harmonies inside, so it sounds richer in sound. And so the three songs I'm going to release are not as dark. They kind of explore the lighter side of emotions, or the higher emotions that you feel, which is like
Okay.
love and loss, but not too dark. So after these three songs, it's going to be songs that are a little bit more heavier to explore. It's exploring human emotion. That's I
Nice.
feel how it's been. Yeah, and I don't want to shy away from putting out songs that are darker in essence, but at the end of the day, if you listen to it, you're going to know it's my voice and my sound. I hope that makes
Nice.
sense.
I am. Yes, it is. It is. It is very
Yeah.
much. I think that's what we need at this particular moment. A bit of enlightenment, and also some positive messages and some positive feel after what everybody's been going through for the past 2 years. At the very
Yeah.
same time, you also have to look into the other side of you. Play with emotions a bit. That's nice. That's the best part
Yeah.
about listening to songs. You want to get feel connected to it.
Yeah, betul. And the thing is, I think we shouldn't shy away from heavier emotions, like and especially because things have been pretty chaotic. So there's a lot of anger and there's a lot of sadness that we feel. But I think like there's such a thing called toxic positivity as well, where you have to be happy or you have to be positive, and that's not healthy. So it's okay to feel angry because it's such a good emotion. It's strong, and it's because something's not right, and you want to your body and your mind and your heart knows you've been wrong in some way, and it's just telling you this is not right, we deserve better. So it's okay to feel that, and then learn how to channel it out in a sort of healthier way that doesn't hurt you or anybody around you. And music is definitely one of those ways to
Definitely,
channel.
because emotions are basically defense mechanisms that our mind creates to prepare us for the situations that we face, whether it's sad, happy,
Betul.
angry, fear, scared. It's all
Yeah.
just nothing but a defense mechanism. Your brains are telling you, preparing for you for the particular situation. So you have to
Yeah.
embrace it. You have to unleash it. Don't bottle it up because that will mess you up big time. Hence the
That's
reason why you see
true.
my Facebook posts. I just blabber all the way so I can sleep
Yeah.
well at night.
But the thing is, that's the thing, it's good to release it, but also there's I think learning to ground yourself in those emotions and sit with those emotions will allow you to release it in a way that's not sort of like attack, like releasing a bomb. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Like you can
Yes.
release that anger without attacking. You can say what you want to say without attacking someone. And it's okay to disagree. It's okay to have your opinion that's different from somebody else's as well. I think it's important to have that discourse and communication about those things. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was talking about a couple of days back in one of my posts. Is like everybody has these issues of, if I don't agree with you, that's it. You're the bad person. You're the
Mm,
villain right now. If you don't agree with me, if everybody agrees with me, I'm the hero or you're the hero.
mm,
It's just that everybody has this difficulty of agreeing to disagree.
mm-hmm.
They want to talk about it. It's like it's fine if you don't agree to the situation. It's just like as long just listen up what they have to say. You don't
Yeah,
have to accept
maybe
it.
you're right. And I think maybe it's because we're not equipped or maybe taught to process emotions. And sometimes when you're and a lot of times when we start attacking, or we start like, hey, why don't you understand me and I want to fight with you, it's because it's governed by, I'm hurt, I need to push back, you know. And sometimes I think it's like we need to learn as a collective to sort of like sit with this emotion and understand, am I being triggered because of me, or is it something the other person said? Because a lot of times what we feel inside is what we see in the world actually. So I
Yep.
mean, I that's something I feel. So yeah.
You sure you just did mass comm, not psychology or something like that?
Mescom. Yes.
But you say they're the right things, of course. A lot of things that we take for granted in our daily lives, things that we
Yeah.
don't want to face, things that we don't want to, how do I put it, customize ourselves to it and how to handle it. That seems to be the number one issue lately, especially the past 1 to 2 years. Some people are too angry, some people are excited, frustrated. Well, the list goes on. And of course, for musicians, some of them tend to put it in their songs, but it all depends on the listener how you want to interpret those songs, right?
But and I think
Yeah.
it's also hard. Like it's easy. The thing is, like, I don't want it to be like a bad thing that people are feeling this way as well. It's okay to feel this way. The whole world is basically went to chaos because in 2020, because of this thing that hit all of us. So as a collective, we all were going through heavy emotions. It was hard. So some people maybe dealt with it a little bit better. Some people were forced to deal with things that they did not recognize or didn't want to look at, or didn't know was there. So it's hard to deal with all those emotions at the same time. And sometimes when you don't know how to channel, or you haven't been taught how to process, or you don't even know there is a way of processing things, it it becomes harder. And then what do you do? Kan, like sakit
Exactly.
kan, when you're in pain, sometimes it's hard to see, it's foggy, or yeah.
And it's
So
not as
yeah.
easy as it sounds because, especially this particular period of time, meeting up with people, socializing, it's not really that active at this particular moment. So you're basically alone
Mm-hmm.
by yourself. And most of the
Yeah.
times. And if you want to communicate, the only furthest message you can do is either you have a Zoom call, a phone chat, or WhatsApp, or whatever.
Betul.
But it's not without that physical contact or face to face. It
Yes.
does take a
It's
toll on
different
many people
kan.
out there. Yeah,
Yeah, it's different.
I've come across some of the even musicians and some of the singers are pretty well known. I think you might have known them also.
Mm-hmm.
One of the number one problems they were facing is I miss touching people. I miss hugging people. That
Yeah.
physical contact, holding hands. When I meet up, I
Yes.
want to hug them. It's like without that, I feel so, like something is missing. It's so frustrating when that happens. And this is a very
Yeah.
bubbly person. She is a super bubbly person, and for her to say that, it is pretty sad indeed.
It is because I mean, we are creatures. We are community creature based creatures. Every I think personally for me as human beings, all of us seek two things, which is purpose and belonging. And in that belonging category is that sense of community, that sense of like being loved and being accepted. And then when you and being that hugging somebody is such a powerful thing. Some people don't like to be hugged, and that's okay too. But some people who are more extroverted, who are used to going out, used to meeting
Yeah,
people, of course it's harder for them, especially when you're grounded at home, or you
yeah.
can't meet people and share that energy. It's harder. But on the flip side, I also believe that learning how to spend time alone is very important. Like some people, I mean, and again, this also comes from a place of, I would say, maybe privilege, because some people don't even have the privilege of thinking about that. All they're thinking about is surviving. And
Yeah,
I respect,
true.
I respect that. That's really hard. But if you are able to, I think spending time alone is really important because it kind of makes you face things about yourself, and it allows you to learn how about yourself more than you would when you have a million things going on and people around you all the time.
Yeah, especially when it comes to musicians or stage
Hmm.
performance, doesn't matter, comedian, MC, DJs. One of the things they miss out on, or is like that's taking a toll on them, is feeding off the energy of a crowd. It's like you perform in front of an audience. It's not the same as doing it via live stream or maybe
But
some Zoom chat or something like that.
sharing that energy, yeah.
Yeah, sharing that energy is like without that you feel empty. It's like you feel like something's missing. No, you can try to say that I'm okay. I'll try to do something else, divert your attention. But at the end of the day, you're just living in denial.
That's true. I mean, the thing is, like, it's it's a different kind of sharing energy when you're doing it through a screen. And even now, like you and I are sharing energy, we're connecting. It still feels good.
Yeah.
We're sharing good energy, and
I
that's
got my
great.
dream come true.
Yay! And I got to do this with you, so happy. But yeah, so it's a different form of energy. But like obviously performing live is a magic by itself.
Yeah.
That's because I don't know, like also depending on the song you sing, like when you sing a happy song, everybody's having good times, like boom. And when you're singing a sad song and you can see people, maybe some people just go there to just be and listen and just absorb and to feel what they can't feel by themselves. Because that's what music does, right? Sometimes it helps us
Exactly.
bring out things.
Exactly
So
what I do whenever I check out bands.
so yeah, so you understand that kind of magic
Yeah.
of live performances, that it's just, and also with the band being on stage with each other playing, that kind of magic and the chemistry, it's beautiful to share that moment and that energy and synergy with everybody and put it out there. So that's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite hard without seeing that also. But how did you overcome this since the start of this whole pandemic? Because I know there were cases. I mean, from time to time there were some openings with some say shows and some a
Mhm.
bit of busking and all the other stuff. But it wasn't the same as the usual proper
Mm.
full performance. How did you handle
Mhm.
that situations from last year till at present time? What did you do? How do you cope up
Uh,
with it?
I mean, it was hard, obviously, and also because I think like you have a trajectory. Personally, I had a trajectory in my head of where I was going and what I wanted to do, and a lot of things sort of planned out in 2020 in my calendar. Yes, I'm
Oh,
very old
nice.
school. I use a book and I write down
The
everything in the
best.
book.
The best.
So yeah, so it helps me remember. I wake up, I'm like, oh shit, okay, I got this tomorrow or whatever. Yeah. So it was hard when that sort of suddenly like you know but at the same time, I think I was also looking for some downtime internally and I needed it, so that was good lah. It was a struggle, but at the same time you slowly learn to adjust. I think humans are very resilient creatures, and if we are capable of so much more than we acknowledge sometimes. And yeah, so I mean, getting through it was just focusing on other things, focusing on writing music, just relearning how to channel the energy that you have
Yeah.
inside, basically.
That's
Yeah.
pretty much nice because if you were back to that busy schedules of doing show, assuming no pandemic took place, do you think that you're done whatever you're doing right now, like sitting down writing music and things like
I
that?
would have. I would have. It's just it'll be different. I would have, but it'll be different. Like it's just a different form of energy. Like how much time you spend, where your mental head is, your headspace is, it would be slightly different. But maybe I wouldn't have written "Breathe," and I'm pretty. It's a very simple song. I'm not gonna say, oh, it's the best song out there, but it's a simple song that was meant to just tell whoever's listening to it that, hey, it's going to be okay. It's hard. I see you, I hear you, I feel you, and you're not alone. And I think I feel like it did that, and I feel people do feel that. And that's, to me, that's yay. That's basically what I wanted to
Mission
do with it.
accomplished.
Yeah. So it's it's a process. Progress is a process. That's what I believe. So
But
just gotta
I was
keep
also
going.
I was also curious because in the sense of Breathe, it was what 2020. Is it not
Yes, I released it in 2021, January this
2021?
year. Yeah,
Oh,
I
sorry,
wrote
this
it.
year.
I
I
wrote
kind
it
of
in
lost track of
2020.
time.
It's okay,
And the thing is
happens.
this: you've been in the scene for a very long time, to be
Mm-hmm.
precise. Okay, for long enough, like we say. And you've been on stage many times, different styles of music. You have done collaboration. You've been
Mm-hmm.
featured in many tracks. Like one of it was, of course, the Muda track with Sasi Ultimate. Then you had Dr.
Yes.
Shakti, and the list goes on. You had a long list of people that you collaborated with and
Mm-hmm.
also featured on. But what took you so long to write a song and come up with your own EP?
Okay,
Why the
so
wait?
I've
Why the long wait?
so I have been writing songs for a while. I think 2018 I started diving into it properly, like just sitting down with my guitar and just writing a lot more songs. But I think it was also mustering up the courage and um and just getting over that hurdle. I think that's the biggest, the hardest thing is to do sometimes is to start. And it's always this fear, it's not going to be good enough, or like it's too simple, and then people are expecting this, people are expecting that. It's kind of like just letting all that go and just going like, you know what, it's at
Just
the
do
end
it.
of the
Like,
day, yeah. And like
it's great.
it's okay, it's okay to fail. I think that was one of the biggest lessons I learned, and sort of like had to tell myself it's okay, and nobody starts off being great, you know. It Look
True.
at how far you've come from where I was, dude. Like when I was in school, like I was so nervous to a point when somebody plays a note on the piano, I would sing a different note because I'm so nervous, I'm overthinking that note. Yeah, you
Okay.
know, that's how bad it was. And over the years there have been experiences that, I mean, any musician or any performer can tell you, you know, you will experience different things as you go along, but they shape you, you know, and that they don't define you. Your experiences, bad, your bad experiences do not define you. And that's such a
True.
powerful thing to recognize.
It just makes you stronger. There's no such thing as mistakes. It's all about experience.
Yeah.
You experience things differently.
What can you
There's no
learn
good.
from what happens, basically?
Yeah, it's all about taking
Yeah.
the first step. Because the thing is, like, I'm amazed because the sense of the style of music. See, keep using the word amazing, amazing. I don't know why. I just got to
It's
start reading again, man. I'm sorry about that.
okay.
The
I
thing
have
is
this thing
this.
where I say, I hope you like the song after every song, or before I start every song. So it's
It's
just
a
like
habit. It just gets stuck inside. It's like for
one of
today, the
those.
word is amazing, amazing. I don't know why I
Yay.
like that word so much, so I keep using it over and over again.
Boleh.
I gotta start working on my dictionary and my thesaurus all over again. It's almost I almost forgot what I wanted to ask you. It's like
I'm sorry.
oh man, no, okay. Talking about the music that you release,
Mm.
are you the kind of person who's very particular about, or rather worried about the trend that's going out there, or you just like want the people to feel, to experience Maya Hanum's music? Because I've known a couple of people that are personally on the musical side, they have the different sound, different style altogether, which is fantastic, you know. But before they put it onto a record, but the moment they
Mm-hmm.
come up with their song, the singles, something to release out there, they have this insecurity, worried that people might not accept it because that's not the trend these days, so they switch everything out, turn to something they're not. Just a bit of
Mm.
elements of their sound is still there. So are you
Mm.
one of those, or are you just like, hey, this is me, Maya Hanum, this is my sound, this is what I'm going to give you. I'm not
I
going to
I
give you what you want, I'm going to give you what you need. Are you the kind of person?
Ooh, that's cool. Um, I think I think every artist kind of struggles with that. It's a hard question because putting out your art is it's a vulnerable state of being, you know? It's scary, but that's what makes it powerful at the same time, I guess. Um, and to be honest with you, I think one of the reasons why it took me a while to release stuff was also that, because I didn't feel like what I had was what was in trend or what was out there and what sort of like people expected out of me. But I didn't know how to write that. It wasn't me.
Okay.
And then it was more like it's okay. It's okay to just do you, boo, and just put whatever you want to put out there. And I think also hanging out with the boys from Berdosa and Mothflash, um I've known them well, I met them in end of 2019, I think. Yeah, in 2020, knowing them throughout the year and stuff. It's really opened my perspective to a lot of things. Like shout out Izzy Mavani. He showed me a lot of music that also kind of expanded my horizons, in the sense that it's okay to kind of mishmash, use different things. Why not? It's art, you know. And like I think he's the one that kept repeating to me, it's okay to be wrong, even if it's wrong. It doesn't mean it's going to be wrong. Like just try and put yourself out there. It's okay. And yeah, and just like Berdosa, for example, right? The type of music that they play is not mainstream, and a lot of people, if you don't understand it, are going to judge it from the outside. But if you listen to it musically, it's beautiful and it has so much meaning to it. And it was inspiring because it gave a voice to people who may not have been able to speak up about things that they wanted to speak up about, you know. And I think that's what so far from what I've learned, like a lot of metal music, a lot of punk, they do that, you know. It's about being yourself and and just breaking
Expressing
boundaries.
yourself.
It's okay. Yeah, and it's beautiful, to me I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, that's how you
So
should do it. Because like
yeah.
even though I was talking to Easy during your performance, I was having a nice
Mm-hmm.
chat. He. I'm sorry, I had a chat with him previously with his band Moth Flash. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward for a
moth
chat with
flesh. Woo.
Mendoza hopefully soon because Easy is an awesome guy to chat with. Even we were talking
Yes,
about
yes.
things like certain things are not appreciated in a certain location, but when you go
Mm.
somewhere else, everyone starts appreciating because you
Mm-hmm.
didn't expect that. You're like you're focused on one particular
That's
target audience
true.
down here, and you
Correct.
don't realize that there's another big market out there that
Correct.
wants or needs your kind of music. So I think
Yeah,
that's where we should start exploring this.
that's true.
Look
Yeah, yeah.
beyond things.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, I've had this conversation with him before. Like sometimes we get stuck in this perspective, and there's a whole world out there. And this applies to everyday things, not just music or anything. Sometimes we get stuck in either patterns or comfort zones, and we think that this is it, but it's not. There's so much more out there, And even if it touches one person, I think that's pretty magical as well. You can pat yourself on the back if that
that's
happens.
the whole thing
That's
because I
pretty
think
cool.
that's the reason. One of the reasons why a couple of artists from here, Malaysia itself, are making it big time on the other side of the
Mm-hmm.
world is because their uniqueness or having that unique particular sound that was different in both sides. It's like
Yep.
everybody over here. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong. It is how it's supposed to be. It's a pattern. It's a marketing technique. But at the
Sure.
same time, you should be brave enough to take it further, take it to another step, and
Yeah.
try to look into things that's not usually looked at, even in the marketing perspective.
Sure. And the thing is, like, it's not wrong either. Like you said, like everybody's on their journey. Sometimes that's what they want to do. Sometimes that makes you happy. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Why should we
Exactly.
judge somebody if they want to release a song that's super poppy? If that makes them happy, if that's them speaking their truth at that point in time of their life, and then they want to change and evolve, why not? That's okay too. And
Go
also
ahead.
like
Just
yeah, yeah, and it's really cool. Like with Moth Flash, they're working on their album and all, and seeing how there's so much heart. Everybody's so fired up, and they're like really putting in the work and the thought and the fire in it, and it's very inspiring. It was very inspiring for me as an artist to see that as well. And yeah, I think all that played a role in like releasing originals and like putting it out there. It was on my things list of things to do in 2020. Like I wrote like I write goals. And
oh,
that was one
nice.
of my goals to do, and it did happen. So I'm very grateful that it did. Yeah.
Good for you. Because the thing is, the good part about this pandemic is like
Sorry.
it gave a lot of people the opportunity to think differently, reinvent themselves. It's like I've discovered a whole lot of things happening from since 2020 till today. It's like the more
Mm,
artists got a chance to chat with, the music that I've
mm.
discovered. Like for example, if it wasn't for this pandemic, I don't know whether we have would have had the chance to discover Alena Murang. I hope I got the name right. Okay, her
Elena
music.
Murang is amazing.
Yeah, she's
I mean, like
fantastic.
her visuals, especially for the latest song, is beautiful. Really,
Then
such an
yeah,
amazing job.
you see those kind of things. You started paying more attention to it instead of the usual tracks, and then you have people like Maya Bayu coming up with it. Kind of like
Yes.
her style, her
Oh
feel, and all.
yes.
So you
She's
see, a lot
like
of things.
woo.
Yeah, a lot of things has been
Awesome.
discovered during this
Yeah.
particular period of time because there's a lot of live stream that took place, and a lot of artists came out of it.
Yeah, and also I think there was a lot more discovery because people were spending time at home. And when you're on the internet, what else are you going to do? You're going to watch movies, sure, but you're also going to listen to music. And then you start discovering different music, different bands, not just like locally and internationally. And that's beautiful lah. Like, how people started connecting with each other, some in some ways on a sort of personal level. Like it became less about the fluff, or not the fluff, but the glitz and glamour. There was also a human element of like you see people being themselves behind the glitz and glamour, which is also cool, you know?
Nice. It's
Yeah.
it's different because we've been so accustomed to the monotonous way of music, how it sounded, how it's being
Mm-hmm.
played, where it's being played, conversation bands. So we tend to forget all the other guys who were actually behind the scenes, who are still in the game, but hardly
Mm-hmm.
got that so-called. I wouldn't want to use the word exposure, something to another word close to discovered. Those kind of things. So, but
Recognition?
thanks to lives, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. So thanks to live streams and all that home sessions, live sessions from home, a lot of them were discovered, which is fascinated. I was so fascinated with it. Hence, one of the reasons why I started this particular podcast. It's just like, hey, I like it. You should listen to it. So get to know them. You
Yeah.
don't have to be a fan. You don't have to be a person with millions of followers or thousands and thousands of views on YouTube. You just got to get the music out there because you never know. There's somebody out there waiting for you and your music, and your music, your style could impact them in ways that words can't describe.
Yes, it's magic in its own way, which is really cool. And I think it's great that you're doing this and just talking and providing a platform to friends and musicians and people and artists, I think it's really cool. And I think the way you do it is really nice as well. So it's not like a interview. It's chilled and
No.
you find out and you talk and you listen. So good job you for doing
Thank you.
this. Thank
Thank you
you
very
for
much. I'm
doing this.
flattered. So, for
Yeah.
those people who's listening in, if there's sponsors out there you want to throw in money, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you.
Hey.
Maya said it
Yes.
was nice. Maya said it was good. So throw the money in. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yes.
But the thing is, it's nice to know where people as yourself, because the contribution that you have made in the music scene is, I don't know, words can't just express it, man. It's like I've seen you perform, your range, your style. I was like wondering, it's like this girl does rock, this girl does hip hop, this girl does, she's into the rap tracks, she's into the R&B tracks, she's into the jazz style. Man, the world should see who is Maya Hanum. More people should see, more people should experience it. And speaking of experiencing things, when is the rest of the music coming out?
Uh this year, I think towards the last quarter of the year, I would say. But also, like, I think, yes, I did like some rock and hip hop and all that, and it was very interesting and reggae, and I'm very thankful for all those opportunities to collaborate and work with those people, and it also allowed me to try and evolve from there. So for now, I'm grateful for being in those worlds, but I think I found my own world, which is beyond, or like a slightly different world from where it was as well. So yeah, and the thing is, like, I come from a, like, not just an artist point of view. It was, I'm a performer in the sense, like a live performer. That's my bread and butter. So switching from performer to artists for creating music for the sake of creating music, that is something I learned actually in 2022, kind of pivot back to where we were. And I think it's a really interesting state of mind to kind of be in as
A
well.
new
Yeah.
experience, new feel.
Yeah. Evolution of sorts, I guess.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. I'm definitely looking forward. Hopefully, all the tracks by year end, at third quarter, right? So we're October, November, around there.
Yes. Oh, earlier,
Okay,
I hope, but we'll see. Yeah.
that's not too far away. Time flies really, really fast.
Yeah.
And
There's been a
this,
lot of delays though because of the
uh,
MCO, so recording and
well,
stuff. But you
okay,
know.
just building curiosity. You just get to fine tune things, use the time for it.
Yes.
But I'm just also curious of one thing. It's like you've been on stage with several great sessions, several great performances, and also like we mentioned earlier, you had collaboration. But if you were to come up with the next, assuming your next set of music, your next EP or whatever, you have people in mind, the top three people that you love to collaborate with. For a change, they are featured on your track instead of you being featured on
Oh,
theirs.
oh, this is such
Top
a heavy
five.
question.
Top five. I mean, things that
um,
wishful thinking, wishful thinking.
you mean like locally or internationally or
Up to you. Up to you.
anywhere? Oh
Anything's
man,
possible with this day and age with
that's true.
technology. Anything is possible.
That is true. I mean, so many. I mean,
Top of your head right now, if I would just ask you top three, lah, top three, the first
Ayo,
three
I
people.
cannot lah. Because if I say then I'll be like, oh no, why didn't I mention this? Oh no, I'm not being fair to this. I was like,
Okay,
overthinkers around the
in
world.
no particular order, random pick. Okay, let's make it a little easier for you, international and local. I'm putting you in the
Ah,
spot on my.
yes, you are. You are putting me on the spot.
Yeah. No, because the thing is,
Okay.
like, they were, as a performer, as a singer, there are times that you would like to take it further. Your music, you just like to push the boundaries a
Sure.
little further, and you want to have those kind of people involved in it. So who would it be?
Sure. I think the artists internationally, the artists that I mentioned earlier. So like, people like people like Aurora, Sandra Garden, etc. But the thing is, like right now, I think the reason why it's hard for me to answer this question is also because I have kind of gone down the route of being featured and featuring, so to speak, being featured.
Yeah.
And at this point in time, I am in a headspace of just creating without thinking about that.
Others.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's not that I don't want to work with other people. I would love that so much, even local, international, anybody. Like, it's music, man. That's awesome. And I'm open to different genres or different collaborations, but not moving away from what I'm doing right now and where I'm going. Um, yeah, so I'm open to it, but as of now, I think my headspace is in a place where I'm just focusing on what I want to bring into the world and just write and create and just share. Yeah. So,
You're
and
just
then,
having your little me time.
yeah, I'm very much an introvert. I'm very much an introvert.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are
Yes,
you?
I'm a little turtle that likes to sit in a shell. I'm a hermit crab. So,
You don't
yeah.
sound like it. Don't look like it.
I do
you,
come
but
out. Yeah, but yeah. Sorry.
no, but seriously, the first time, the very first moment I met you, the conversation was like as though we knew each other for a very long time.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
like from
I love meeting people. Don't get me wrong. I love meeting people, and I genuinely enjoy it and connecting with people. I genuinely do enjoy that. But I also really enjoy me time. So I
okay,
recharge, and then when I'm in the headspace, I go out and I meet people, and I want to. My goal in life is basically I would like to live as authentically as possible. Just be real,
nice.
like there's so many. It's sometimes it's hard to be real, but it's good to try to just live your truth lah, basically, and that's something
Mm,
I try to do in practice. Yeah.
that's nice. I seriously got to go back and just start rewriting the definition of introvert and extrovert. These days seems to have
Ha.
changed very, very much. It's no longer like what it used
Mm.
to be, but it is
Mm-hmm.
awesome. It is fantastic. And of course, before I wrap things up, is all want to talk a bit about your live performances. You did something with My Pantas recently, right? You did a
Yes, I
recording
did.
with My Pantas.
Correct. I did a recording with My Pantas. It's an episode featuring my originals. And it's done really beautifully. It was done in Angkasa Space. And they basically it's really cool. And you can buy a ticket for 7 ringgit to go and watch it. And then we'd get a cut of that. And it would be amazing. So go and watch it if you're out there and you want to like check out my originals being played on a drum set and all that. Yeah.
I'll put it all on this page here, so I'll give them the link so
Thank
people can
you.
just click on it and just check it out for yourself. So
Boleh, terima
I'm
kasih.
definitely looking. Any other of your upcoming projects
Um,
after My
right,
Pantas and your, of course, your singles? Anything
yeah.
live performances coming up?
Right now, at the moment, no. It's um, mainly my music, but I would love it if people could follow my blog, Serendipity at Midnight, and also my Instagram page,
Good one.
Serendipity at Midnight. Yes. So I'm in the works. I'm learning. I'm working on some handmade stuff that I want to curate and put up there. So if you guys want to check it out and want to see my blog, then please go ahead and like
Oh
give it a
yes,
follow.
for the fans
Yeah.
of jewelries, you got to check that out. That stone, it's from Peru, right?
No, it's from Turkey actually. So I got
Turkey. Okay,
my
sorry.
yeah, and I'm also going to be stocking this thing called Palo Santo. I don't know if you've heard it. It's a type of incense, but it's ethically sourced from Peru. I got it
Okay.
from a friend who got a bunch of it, and I'm also going to be selling that. I love it so much. I use it with so much respect and reverence for that stick because it smells amazing and it really helps you get into a good state of mind. So yeah, and it's natural, so it's
Well,
really
check
cool.
it out. Check it out. I'm going to put all the
Yes.
links in this particular page for you to just click on and check it out for yourselves because the stones
Mm-hmm.
are beautiful and there's chains
Thank
and
you.
all this kind of stuff. Too bad I don't really wear. Uh, I look really bad if I wear one of those. But for the ladies out there, especially the ladies
Yeah, it's
or the
catered
guys who want to
towards
get a
women.
gift for your loved ones, it's
Why not?
beautiful. It's amazing. And read the blog about fear. It is. It kind of hit me today. Like, it seriously. I kind of
Yeah.
love reading the whole thing. It's like things that the perception that we have over fear. You wrote it very well, and how they handle it. It is nice. So you
Thank
got to check out
you.
the blog also. Thank you so much, Maya. It's been a pleasure indeed having a chat with you. I really enjoyed this entire conversation. It's been
Me
almost an hour.
too.
Didn't feel it.
Oh,
It's so
yes,
good.
it has. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
so
by the
good.
way, I have one more
Yes.
thing. I'm actually working on a meditation that based on Breathe. So Sylvia gave me a recording of playing her piano, which I'm recording like my vocals on as a meditation, which I'm going to release on my page soon, very soon. So yeah, you can stay tuned for that if you guys want. So
Nice. See, everything. She doesn't give up. She doesn't stop, man. The amount
I
of
know.
feathers she has on her hat is like, it's looking like a bird right now.
Oh.
Yes, a lot. So,
Yeah.
singer, songwriter, musician, sessionist, performer, entrepreneur, environmentalist, animal lover. I think I got two more. What else did I miss out here?
It's okay lah. And
Yeah, the
just
list goes on. The list
just
goes
another
on.
human being who
Yes,
loves art
well,
and
it's a good.
music.
You're a great
Yeah.
example to people out there. Great inspiration. Thank you so much, Maya. Thank you so much for joining in. And
Thank you for
for
having me.
those, oh, it's a pleasure. It's my pleasure. Finally, a dream come true. Chatting with Maya Hanum. Finally,
Yay.
finally, after a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and all the links that you need to know her social media pages: Instagram, Facebook, music, Spotify, YouTube channels, whatever you want. I'm going to post it up on this particular page, so check it out.
Yes.
And the most important thing is, don't just check it out. Follow, like, share, subscribe, do whatever you need to do. All right, that's
Yeah.
the most important thing.
Yes,
Don't just like,
please.
oh, okay, I clicked. Hey, yeah, I clicked it. Check it out. Follow, share it with the world. Everybody needs to
Yes.
know who is
Each
Maya
like,
Hanum.
each subscribe, each view makes a difference in an artist's life. So thank you in advance if you're going to do that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Maya.
Yeah.
It's,
Thanks,
I
Nav.
think it's about. Thank you so much. Anything else you'd like to add on before we wrap things up?
No, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me, and I hope we get to hang out soon after all
Yeah,
this.
hopefully soon. I just
Yeah.
can't wait to hang around people. I need to see people. I need to see people face to face. It's like I was just excited. AEW section kicked in, and then boom, stop again. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon.
Sabah,
Season
it's going to be okay.
Sabah.
We'll get through this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Together. So, yeah.
Oh yeah. Speaking
Okay,
of okay,
cool.
Maya's also in a track called Okay.
Yeah, that was acting. So, that was
Yeah,
Matthew
acting. So she was
McKelson's track. So, I was just acting.
something kira si
Letting
sama
y'all
tapi
know.
tak serupa lah. Okay.
Same,
Thank
same,
you
but
so much,
different.
Maya. Thank you
Okay,
very much.
bye now. Take care. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Bye.